welcome to the Bender Bunker with what we're calling the Bender Bunker's 3-chord advanced B-bender workout lesson. And what we're basically going to do in this lesson is take all the different twang box shapes that we've been learning since the beginning of the channel started many months ago. And if you're not sure what I mean by twang box, if that sounds somewhat dirty to you, then I'm going to have a link up here above my head now. That's unlocking the twang box video. That's our foundation video we started the channel with. It's by far the most viewed video of all time in the channel. It's going over the what we call twang box shapes, the most fundamental B-bender shapes to get into the twang zone quickly. If you haven't viewed it, maybe check it out and come back. Might do you some good, because basically what we're doing here is taking all the twang box shapes we've been learning since the beginning of the channel, and we're going to put them into one 3-chord workout lesson like you just heard. So there won't be a lot of new shapes. If you've been following along playing the home game, there won't be a lot of new shapes coming your way. It's just how we're going to use them, the rhythms, and we're kind of going at a fast tempo today to really put ourselves through our paces. And what I recommend is break this into sections, digest it over time, and then as always, take the parts of it you like, learn those, and make them your own. That's all I ever do. So if you want to take part on the 3-chord advanced B-bender workout lesson, go grab that bender and let's get on it. All right, I see you've decided to stay with me and partake in the advanced 3-chord B-bender workout lesson. I'm not going to lie to you, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. There's a lot of parts to it, but the nice part is it's all working out of the twang box shapes you probably already know. Where it's G, C, and D. We're going to be up here, G, down to C, D, back to G. So we are going to start up here in the G shape to get the party started. The first lick we're going to learn is the beginning. So it's basically the same lick repeated twice, except for that very last part the second time is more than, and we'll definitely get to that. So the very first thing we're going to learn, I'm going to get as close as I can without falling out of frame here, is we are going to start with our index finger on the top 2 strings on the 10th. And the first part we're going to learn is, that's it, let's just learn that. So we're going to start this party by hitting the B string on the 10th. Again, we've got that index finger on the top 2, it's going to be kind of hanging out there for quite a while. And so we're going to hit that B string and engage the bender fully. Little finger on the high E 13th, back to the bent B. Index covering the 10th, bent B. Now give it kind of a half up and down. So the first part is, and then your ring finger is going to do the 12th high E, back to the bent B. Your index finger on the high E 10th, and then the bent B down. So a little bit slow, but all the way through now. Now up to speed. Believe it or not, once you get the picking pattern and the speed down, that's what it's going to sound like. But to learn it, it is. Okay. Now the next part is. Now what this is, let's learn this part without the bending in it first of all, and it's 7 notes. I counted it 7, hopefully I got it right. But what we're doing is we're taking our ring finger and we're sliding it up to the 12th on the 3rd string, your G. Your little finger is going to be working the high E on the 12th, and your index is going to be working the high E on the 10th. So we're starting with the 3rd string on the 12th, I'm sliding into it, and then I'm going to the high E on the 12th with my little, coming back to the G. And then I'm going to the high E on the 10th. Then I'm hitting the B string on the 10th with my index. And then I'm going back to the 3rd on the 12th. And then back to the B on the 10th. So really that index finger is going to anchor there. And then as part of the lick, my ring finger on the 12th on the 3rd string is going to anchor there. So. Get the pattern, and of course that's going to be the challenging part. It's quick. What I did pay attention to before I started the film rolling here is that this section I am up picking the first 6 notes of the 7, and the only down pick I do is the very last note. So now it's obviously. That's with the bender in it. Again, it's the same 7 notes, of course. So with That's going to be the 5th and the 7th note. All right, so the two together. So that's the lick. Now, that's the first time. Then you repeat it, and instead of ending with that, you're going to end with it. Let's get to that. So after we do that, now instead of hitting the B and going back up like we've been doing, we're going to hit the bender, fully activate it, and I'm going to slide my index finger that's already covering the top two. I'm going to have it cover the 3rd and the 2nd string. I'm going to pick those two and let them down. So again, that's going to be. All right. So the whole thing slow from the beginning. That's it. All right, now we've got to go down and shift down to the C section. Very similar to what we just did, actually, same mentality. We're going to take that index finger that's been kind of anchored up here on the top 2 on the 10th. We're going to anchor it on the top 2 on the 3rd. And we're going to work again our little finger and our ring finger. So we're going to start, we move it down here to the 3rd, hit the B string and the bender. Then we're going up to what, the 6th and the high with our little finger. Back to the still bent B. High E now being held by the index. So again. And that is basically what we did up there. And of course, that very last note is going to be the G string on the 5th. But here we are. We're using our ring finger now. High E. High E. So all up to speed. Now what we're doing is, as soon as we complete that passage, we're moving down and we're putting our ring finger on the high E 3rd and our middle finger on the 2nd string 3rd. So we've got the top 2 covered like that, and we're going to do. So I'm hitting it twice and I'm bending it twice with the hit. So it's still up, and then I'm top string, 2nd string, and letting it down. So, and then the index finger is going to the 1st fret on the 2nd string. All right, so all together. Go back and play what you just played up here on the G part, exactly like you learned at the beginning. Okay, so this is where we're going to take a little break in the lesson. This is what we've got so far. We've got the G, the C, and then back to the G. And that sounds like this. Okay, I know it's a lot. Let's take a small break. I'm parched. I'm going to go get a beverage of my choice, undisclosed. And I'll be right back after the fade. All right, probably a good time to remind you that we did have the word advanced in the title because there are lots of parts and there's a lot more to come, so bear with me. Hang in there. Now, we started in G with the main riff. We went down to C, and we came back to G with the main riff again, or at least the first half of the main riff. So the one place we haven't been on this 3-chord workout is, of course, the D section. We've done G and C. We need to go to the D. So the way we're going to do that, of course, we're coming out of the first half of the main riff. Now, this is the D part we're going to learn. And that's sliding down to the C. So let's learn the D part first. And like all these other parts, being anchored by the top 2 strings with our index finger. So this time, because it's working out of twang box shapes, we got to get down here to the 5th fret area for the D twang box. So we're up here doing the main riff, the first half of the main riff. That index finger is now sliding down to the 5th, top 2 strings, and we're going to do this riff. All right, so that's top 2. It's a double hit with the bender, and on the second hit of the bender, you're going to keep it bent. Now, it's the high E string on the 8th with your little, back to the bent B, high E being covered by the index, then the B string being let down, and then you're on the 3rd string with your ring finger on the 7th. What you're doing here is you need to walk down to the C, and the way we're going to do that is we're going to take our index finger that's on the top 2 strings, we're going to move it down 1 and do a up and down on the bender with a 1 hit. So now we're doing. Now we're back in the C section. So now we need to do. That's all I want you to do. So again, same thing we've been doing, top 2, starting with the B and bending and holding the bender. Doing the high E on this 6 with our little finger, back to the bent B, high E with the index, and then the bender string down. That's the section right there. The speed. So we're right here in the C section. We need to get back up to the G, but we're not quite through with the C, as you're about to see. So now what we're doing from this part is we're going to go up here. And what that is we're sliding up with our middle fingers going to the 2nd string on the 11th. That puts our ring finger on the high E on the 12th. It's the top 2 strings that way. We're doing a double bend, double hit, double bend, and letting it down. Now real quick, what is that? Because remember, we're down here in the twang box section for C. So we're doing a little bit of C. Well, what this is up here is C as well. And the way to think about that, just from a structural point, is here's your C bar chord. This is your 7th shape that we covered in the twang box. So we're still in C, but we're just going way up here, and it does 2 things for us. It gives us a nice variety. It's changing the pitch. It's kind of dramatic. Works well in C, but also puts our hand right back where we need to be for the G main riff again. So, all right, from the D part. Now, we're going to go do the G part again and try and get on out of here. It's not the same riff, though, because this is the advanced lesson, so I had to come up with something a little bit more advanced. And what it is... Okay, so it's close to what we know, but we're going to stretch things out a little bit. So, again, let's position the index top 2 on the 10th for our G. We're going to start as we always do with the B string being hit and bent. Hold it. Then it's the little finger on the 13th high E. Back to this still bent B. Index on the 10th. B, kind of that half up and down like we did in the beginning. And then we're going way up here with our little finger to the 15th high. To the bent B. High E on the 10th with our index. Down. And we're ending up on that 12th fret with our ring finger on the 3rd string. Go. The last part is that, and that's getting us back down to D. So what I'm doing is the top 2 string, sliding into that 2nd string on the 5th, and then by the time I get there, I'm fully bent. And then I'm alternating with the index on the high E. No, I'm not. I'm going little finger up on the 7th high E. Back to the bent B. Then it's the index holding on the 5th. And then giving it twice. It's still, since the note is still ringing on the B string, so it's this. I'm going twice on it at the end. That's how I'm ending this whole thing. So it's. So from. All right. Woo, that's a lot of bending. Again, this I forgot to mention the Academy called this is rated GB for gratuitous bending. So that's probably what you're feeling right now in the fingers. So real slow from the top. I'm going to try and do it all together. We're going to start from the beginning. Here we go. 2, 3, 4. Whoa! And you put all those pieces together, that's what you get. You get the advanced 3-chord B bender workout from the TheBenderBunker. That's a lot of B's. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go and fire up the loop pedal when I come back. I've got it a little bit disengaged right now, but I'm going to come back. We're going to play it in context with the chords. We're going to get to the BPMs per minute. I think this is right around 120 beats per minute. I wanted to keep it kind of on the brisk side to give us that advanced workout. So you stretch out, go over those parts, and I'm going to come back. We're going to do it all together with the backing track. Back in a flash. And congratulations to you to making it to the end of the 3-chord advanced B bender workout. There are no more parts to learn. It's just time to put them all together and see what we got to the backing track. Before we do that, I definitely want to thank you for making it to the end. You know, I've probably published somewhere in the neighborhood of 13, 14, 15 B bender lesson videos since I started this channel. And what this is just kind of a culmination of all those parts into one giant workout. And I guarantee you, you learn this bad boy, you're going to be one twangy, bendy son of a gun or daughter of a gun. You know, YouTube says there are no female viewers of the TheBenderBunker channel. That's what their analytics say. You prove me wrong. Put it in the comments if that's the case. And so if you liked any part of this video, maybe you liked the C section or the D section. Heck, maybe you liked it all. Give it a thumbs up. If you've got other B-bender players that you know, go ahead and share this with them. Challenge them to the 3-chord advanced workout. Say, hey, it's just 3 chords. How hard could it be? And then what I'm going to do now is hit the backing track, play it to tempo, which is somewhere, like I say, around 120. It's going to be a little bit faster pace. And then I'm going to play it through once. And then a viewer wrote recently and said, hey, BenderBunker, do you ever just have the backing tracks without you playing? And once I stopped having hurt feelings without me playing, I realized, oh, they just need something to play over with the lesson that I just showed them. So makes perfect sense. So I'm going to play it through once like I always do. And I'm going to go ahead and vamp the chords a little bit so you'll have a loop of the backing track. So when you get the parts down, you'll have something to play over just like I have now. And hopefully that'll be helpful. So this last part will be just kind of the chords looping. So again, thank you for making it all the way through. I hope it was helpful in some way. And you know our motto, that's never going to change. Certainly not today after that kind of workout. It is never too late to go on a bender. So let's do this thing. All right. 2, 3, 4.